Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Georgia Gwinnett College. Welcome back to, of course, GTP presents The Green Room. This is our March series, of course. I've done the introductory video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. And I wanted to reach out to the GGC community. We are live from Swanky Studios, so of course we are not at Georgia Gwinnett College, of course. Bummer that the school has shut down for 2 weeks, so I wanted to stay connected with our fan base, our GGC community, and the GGC family for sure, just to kind of spread a positive light about the 2 weeks closure due to the coronavirus, of course. Hopefully, you guys are out there, are safe and sound. Be sure, if you're going out, please be sure to use wipes, tissues, and hand sanitizer. Do not touch anything or anybody until we figure out what's going on with this coronavirus, until we figure out if it's clear and figure out what's going on for sure. But I wanted to stay connected with you guys for sure for the GTP Green Room. I'm your host, Kennedy Patterson, streaming our series not only for the video content for Instagram at grizzly_talk, but we are officially on, of course, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, SoundCloud, and Pandora for this episode. So hopefully you guys enjoy it for sure. I'm your host, Kennedy Patterson, again. So we're going to talk about two communities here for today's kind of first ever episode, of course. First one I want to talk about, and I really do hope that we do a podcast with them one day coming very soon. Now, this week where we're going to do Elevated Era. Of course, Elevated Era is a organization by of course, the student that I have in econ right now, Deja Sharp. She is amazing. I met her after class and we talked about it, and I would say, yes, we're going to get you on the podcast as soon as we can. But the school shut down. So we're not able to do an official podcast. And this is not their official podcast. We are going to do a podcast with them very, very soon after this whole epidemic is over. But I wanted to talk about Elevated Era for their Instagram because I really like the idea they got going on for sure. Of course, in their tag, of course, you guys can follow their Instagram right now. It's elevated.era. You Came to Win is a community organization, a community that outreach groups spreading awareness about mental health and advocating a decline of substance abuse, suicide, depression, and anxiety worldwide. So they do have a website. All you have to do is click the link on their Instagram. They have a good following there. They have some very, very great tips. And I'm just going to read these tips out there to you. Of course, happy Thursday is what they say. Happy Thursday. We have a challenge for you. We guarantee if you're doing 3 to 4 of these out of the week, your mental health will be better. You will feel good, look good, think good, and see things so much better. We challenge you to add these to your weekly routines to 2 to 3 a day, and watch how your life will change for the better. You are a winner. So, of course, they have the 6 topics here: daily affirmations, creating art. That's my specialty, creating art. I love that. Reading a book, drinking water, and this is kind of a shout out to them, sponsors to them. Be sure, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are drinking water. One of the symptoms for coronavirus is dry mouth and dry throat. So be sure to dehydrate yourself when it comes to this. Self-care days and working out and stretch for 30 minutes a day. So you guys see it on our Instagram. I do a little bit of working out myself. So that's two of the things I already do. 3 of the things I already do, of course. Creating art and working out, building a business. Okay, I mean, that's what we're doing here. Network for GTP. Daily prayer and meditation. I've talked about this on podcasts numerous of times about meditation and how important it is. So for me, this is really good because I'm already doing about 4 out of the 6 things listed here for sure. Of course, a link in the bio. Of course, they hope to see you at Herbal Beginnings this month. Of course, this was the past couple of months. I'm pretty sure that this may or may not happen. I'm not too sure because I know a lot of things are not open. A lot of things are not going around right there. Not going around with this virus epidemic that we have for sure. Of course, they got so many great posts. They have and Deja Sharp did an IGTV. You guys can listen to it right now on their IG. Of course, that's elevated.era. very new community that they started, and it's very cool. Of course, you guys can see challenges, events, motivational tips, and of course, podcast. I cannot wait to see what this is. Of course, they also have an anchor podcast that they're on for sure, but I can't wait to get them on GTP's podcast, Grizzly Talk Podcast. Shout out to Elevated Era. Shout out to, of course, Elevated Era. They are just so amazing what they do. Deja Sharp, shout out to her as well. She is extremely amazing. She's a very nice person, and I cannot wait to see that on the podcast. Deja, if you're watching this podcast, your podcast is coming soon. Just wait for it. And I'm so sorry about this pandemic. I'm so sorry that we not able to really meet this next couple of weeks, but stay tuned, Deja. Your podcast is coming for sure. And next, I wanted to talk about here on our series, GGCBarely Actors. Now, I see them perform, I see them act, and I see their Instagram. Of course, you guys can follow their Instagram. It's GGCBarely Actors, all one word. They have a great social following. Students from Georgia Gwinnett College performing and working on theoretical and film production. Um, it's really amazing to see their work. Of course, they celebrated Women in Film for Women's in History Month this month. Of course, they hold auditions. Their first 2020 meeting, they did a musical chairs. And as I go through audition workshop, that's really good for people who want to come out and want to learn the realm of acting. They have an auditions workshop so they know how to audition for a production or a film for sure. Um, they were there at Green Scene at the GGC lawn, and of course they traveled, and I do mean they traveled all over. They went to, I believe they went to the ISE conference, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Um, Instagram's very colorful too. They have a lot of things that they do for their Instagram. They performed in Cisco before. That's pretty amazing that they do little Cisco work there. So I cannot wait. Of course, I see a couple of my friends. JT, I follow him on Facebook. We had a class together. It was pretty good to see him doing his thing, acting. He's a good actor too. He wasn't he you know he would act in class, and it was just so cool because you can tell he's in acting. If you guys want to see more content for sure, please be sure to follow their Instagram. It's GGC Actors, all one word for sure. Of course, they posted, of course, their workshop was canceled and rescheduled to further notice due to the epidemic of coronavirus that we have. If you guys want to learn more, of course, you guys can go to the Aurora Theater website. Of course, that's www.aurora.com/ggc-partner/porter. It's a website you can learn more about the GGC's Barely Actors. So that's going to wrap it up here for the GTP Green Room. Of course, this is a special episode. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's episode. And before we wrap up the first episode, I want to let everyone know to please be sure to stay safe out there due to this epidemic. Like I said in our intro, hopefully this thing blows over in the next week. Probably not. It's probably going to blow over the next 2 weeks or till a month. So I really hope you guys stay safe, stay positive during this experience. And you just got to go out there and be great at representing GGC as well. So that's going to do it for the GTP Green Room today's episode with your host, Kennedy Patterson. Please be sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media, whether it's iHeart, Pandora, iCloud, not iCloud, Apple Podcast. Let's see, where else are we at? Spotify, and also our Instagram at Grizzly_talk. Until then, go Grizzlies. We'll see you guys in the next episode.